After a 4-hour train ride from London, I arrived in Prestwich, a suburb of Manchester. My hostess met me across the street at a supermarket. It was an awkward moment because up until now we had actually only corresponded for about a year and had never actually met face to face. But a smile and a handshake seemed to break the ice, and our first activity when we got back to her place involved a 6-pack of beer and a Manchester United video. Our first football-related activity was a visit to United's training ground, the Cliff. Unfortunately, they had just begun a policy of closing the ground to the public on Fridays. However, they did open the gates once training was over, so I was able to catch a glimpse of some of my heroes in the flesh, even if it was through the windows of their passing cars. Some were gracious enough to stop for autographs and pictures. One even got out of the car and posed with some children. Here I was, seeing members of a club that I'd worshipped from afar for almost 15 years, a dream come true. But I was still waiting for my personal favorite. My patience was rewarded about 2 hours later. Having just completed a lengthy suspension, Eric Cantona emerged from the field house. The flashy, enigmatic French international had lit up Manchester United for the past 2 seasons. Bought from Leeds United for a mere pittance, he was largely responsible for bringing back the glory days to Old Trafford. 2 league trophies and an FA Cup in the trophy room stood as proof of his genius. He waved, signed autographs, and maintained an air of dignity in the throng of people shoving pads and magazines in his face. He even cocked his head a tad to pose with me for a picture.
A terrible blunder, which was 10 months with the ship. The only thing well there with the league's lots, but then he realised that they were the freaks. Only one way now, correct and no, to the painter of our dreams. Music and poetry too, performing the fine arts of the heroes, for the boys they call Man U. He's a legend, without any doubt. He will reign for years to come home. We will just stand there in admiration, with countless more trophies won.
Eric the King, thank you. I can die a happy man. I visited the Manchester United Museum and spent ungodly amounts of money in the United Megastore. But thinking it would be my only visit to this hallowed ground, I thought, hey, you only live once. Needless to say, my duffel bag was much heavier going home. Match day, Saturday, was the source of a lot of uneasiness for me. Tickets are normally scarce for Manchester United games, but two factors made them even more precious today. One was the fact that the stadium's capacity was reduced due to construction, and the second was that this day was a derby in England. That is, two teams from the same city playing each other, Manchester United versus Manchester City, a fierce rivalry. Tickets were so scarce for this game that City fans had to root for their team from their own stadium, watching the action on a large screen. I, for one, was lucky to have Suzanne as a friend. Not only did she give me her ticket, she waited in the parking lot listening to the game on the radio. I know it was a great sacrifice for her, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, all come over visitors. Bring your dollars with you. Yeah.
To the uninitiated, it is impossible to describe the atmosphere at a football match in England, especially at Old Trafford. It's electric. The singing, the chanting, the cheering, the passion, the emotion. For me, it was a religious experience, like a pilgrimage to Mecca.